So I was waiting for this MacBook Air with M1 Silicon, right? So it was released in November 2020. We were looking for this after seeing the reviews and all. It was very amazing to see the 16 to 18 hours of backup, battery charge, and the sleek model and the M1 processor. More importantly, which was giving a lot of good efficient performance actually. So we were thinking of buying a personal computer for us because for the past more than a year or so, like all the electronic devices that we have is fully occupied with my kids having um, online classes, and I am also having to take classes online, and so we were looking for a personal computer for us because the previous one which we were having, so the MacBook Air, which is 2014 model actually. So it's almost now like 7 years old and now being used by my son for his classes. But it's pretty old. So now I wanted to get a newer one. So we were waiting for this opportunity, and it came up in the last few days or so. Actually, this we got yesterday, right? So got it yesterday. So this is actually the third MacBook we have. I already have a MacBook Air, and I also have the MacBook Pro from the office. So I've been using that for more than 6 years or so. It's running perfectly fine with upgraded SSD hard drive. In the last 5 months, I was started using that SSD. So now it's perfectly fine actually. So I think it will go for at least 3 years or so. So this one is primarily meant for the personal computing, and as soon as we saw some reviews, we usually watch Marcus Brown and Max Tech, Zone of Tech. So there were a few more. I couldn't remember. Maybe I will put it in the comments for you to see that. So we were looking at these reviews for quite a long time, almost 6 months we were looking at, and finally we decided to go for this actually. So there were like multiple decisions that we need to make. Like first we were thinking of buying an iMac. It was my thinking that I will go for a desktop kind of a version, but slowly we thought that this laptop will be a much better choice for us. It gives more mobility and such kind of things. So we thought this would be a better choice, and so this we will be like using it for just our personal computing nature, and so we thought that this would be a better idea to go for as of now. So there were a lot of questions whether to go for iMac or MacBook. So we decided MacBook. But now the question was like whether to go for MacBook Pro or MacBook Air, right? So there was a lot of videos we saw, the reviews we saw actually, and finally we saw that it's not much of a big difference between a Pro and a Air, especially for the M1 Silicon. So I thought reduce the expenditure and go for the base models, right? So I just went for the base model, and so actually there was a lot of questions with respect to whether to go for 8 GB or 16 GB, right? So there were some of the people in the tech YouTube videos, they were pointing out for the futuristic purpose you should go for 16 GB, but some of them said 8 GB itself is like a 16 GB Intel processor, so better go for 8 GB itself. You don't have to spend too much money. Like so, and then we saw our requirements. What are the requirements we have, right? For personal computing, what are the requirements? Although of course we will be using the browser or email, such kind of normal activities, some office kind of document processing, also used to do a little bit of video processing also. So we thought, I think it's a better idea to go for a 16 GB, but some of the videos, especially the Max Tech, suggested that if you are not going for apps that is going to run parallelly, so many apps running parallelly with Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro, such kind of things, it's better to go for an 8 GB RAM. So 16 GB RAM is, you need to have more than like maybe 3 or 4 very intensive apps running, and on the background you will have a lot of browser tabs and such kind of things, right? But here it's a personal use, and we won't be running such kind of an activities for a personal use, I think. So I thought 8 GB will be a better choice, so that I can save like 200 to 250 US dollars, right? So we thought this will be a better choice, and here it is now. So this is the one. This is 8 GB RAM. It has 8 core and 7 GPU, 7 core GPU. So this is the one that we are having right now. So it has been really good. So then we thought, so I was looking at Amazon. Then I thought, why to go for Amazon if Apple India itself is having an online store, right? So I thought I would just go for an online store purchase, and then when I was looking at there was an educational offer also available there. So I was just curious, and I was looking at what is this offer, right? So they give 10% offer for especially the students, and they were mentioning about teachers, faculty members also to be covered. But I just wanted to verify with them, so I just called them, the Apple India, so the toll-free number. I just called them, and then I asked so whether it is only meant for the students or it is also meant for the faculty members. So I told that I'm a teacher, and I'm teaching in an institution. So then I was told that it's meant for both, actually. So then I got to know that 10% reduction gives you like almost like 9 to 10,000 rupees in Indian rupees. So I thought that will be a very good way of using this kind of approach. So then we thought it's. I thought I will just go with this Apple India online store. And so then, so the main thing that we have to do if you are doing through the Apple India online store is if you are doing it online, right? So if you are just calling them up, you may be able to do like by submitting the proofs and such kind of things. But if you want to do it completely online, you can do it online. So you need to go to the unitaste.com. So you need to just go to the unitaste.com. So I'm just logging in using the Touch ID, which is very convenient actually. So just open the browser. Unitaste, this is the one. So here you need to register, and they will be asking the institution ID and your institution email ID especially. And once it gets verified, so then you will be able to purchase it. Actually, for my institution, it was already there, so it got immediately approved, and so then I immediately went for the purchase. Actually, so if your institution is already there in their database, so there won't be any issues. So you can straight away go for the purchase actually. So I straight away went for the purchase. I think 4 days back, and I was told that you will be getting the piece in the next 1 week or so, but it came 2 days earlier. So it is just too good, and fully satisfied with the Apple online store. Of course, their customer service is one of the best available to Amazon, and I like the Amazon customer service also. Right. So I've not used much the laptop, but actually the battery charge is now presently 44%. It came with 67% when we opened the laptop actually. So yesterday we ran the laptop and updated the Mac OS Big Sur. So now it is updated, and it was running it for almost like 30 to 40 minutes of updation was happening, and we were doing some little bit of browsing, emailing, and document processing and such kind of things. Even today morning, we were using it for small activities, and then we were also playing some songs through the music app and such kind of things. So I was feeling quite happy with the speaker also here. Now I've not looked into much of the things and how is the performance and such kind of things. So that I will try to explain maybe after I get used to this laptop in the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks or so. So one main thing, so all the MacBook comes with the trackpad is the one which is complete revelation. So I generally don't use an extra mouse for a laptop, because what I feel is like if you're using a laptop, you should get used to the trackpad or the mouse pad, whatever that you have, because whenever you are in the mobile, you cannot just carry the mouse always, right? So I think we should get used to the trackpad. So I generally use only the trackpad. I don't use the mouse if I'm using a laptop. So I generally feel like things like the tap to click will not be enabled in a MacBook. The first thing that I want to do is tap to click to be enabled. So I have enabled over here, or else for every tap you have to click it actually, right? So you need to press the trackpad for the click. So that was the only thing that I have made, and no other changes that has happened right now. So the next thing that I have to do is I need to move over some of the personal files that I have in the older MacBook Air that I have. Yeah. So this is the older MacBook Air that I have. It's a 2014 model, like I mentioned earlier. So I need to transfer the files from here, some of the personal files that I have, to this newer one that I will be doing in the next 1 or 2 days or so. Then only we can again start using the laptop and see the performances and such kind of things. So the one thing that I see here is it's much more very compact. The recent MacBook Air, you see the previous one, although it is very thin and such kind of things, it's a very large one. If I can compare this, you just see this here, see the difference over here, right? So although the screen is of the same size, like the 13-inch screen, both are, you see the difference here, right? So it's very sleek and compact. So that's one main difference that I am seeing it here. But otherwise, everything is perfectly fine actually for me. It's very slinky, snappy, and very elegant look, and the design wise, it's so nice. Actually, it's one of the best design. One another change that I'm seeing it here is the lower bezel is of very similar kind of a thing in the bottom and in the top in the older MacBook Air. But here, if you see, although the width is the same, I'm seeing it slightly different over here. The bezel, the MacBook Air is in a kind of a rough kind of a background, and the topper portion is a more polished one, right? So that looks slightly odd, but I think I will get used to that. That's not a very big thing as far as compared to the performance and such kind of things. I don't think that will be a very big issue for me, right? So maybe in the next week or so, we'll get used to this, and then we'll have a video of what is the efficiency of this laptop, uh, whether it is in right with the height the people have made, and that's what I need to check with some of the video processing that I plan to do in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and then see how is the performance. So, okay, thank you then. So let us wait for some more time, and I will come up with the next video for the review